Okay, so this is my 21st century learning reflection based on the frameworks and the two YouTube videos. I am Danielle Olson. This is ED 527. So the P21 frameworks have incorporated multiple aspects that are needed in the 21st century. This quote is from that framework list. It says this framework describes the skills, knowledge, and expertise students must master to succeed in work and life. It's a blend of content, knowledge, specific skills, expertise, and literacies. So basically, these are all the different things that we as teachers need to teach our students, not just content area, but how to critically think and problem solve and work with other people and all those other skills, especially technology and media literacy in this case, in this presentation. So some of the different skills listed are multiple key subjects and literacies involved. So that includes all the core subjects and different electives that students can take. And just learning how to be technology literate and how to decide different sources are legitimate or not. Creativity and collaboration, critical thinking, media literacy, life skills, and many more. This entire framework is basically everything we need to give to our students before they leave us and enter the real world. So media in the classroom is basically in this slide is how can I influence beliefs and behaviors by using media in the classroom. So something that actually I'll talk about in a little later on is students need to know there's a big world out there. That it's not just their little school in the town that they grew up in, and it's not just the state of Minnesota, it's the US, it's the world, it's everywhere, and that there are so many different perspectives that they can learn from and be able to create their own. So giving them multiple opinions in order for them to form their own. So giving them all different types of backgrounds to in order to create their own opinion on whatever the topic happens to be. And helping them stay up to date on global and world issues. Students need to know what's going on in the world outside of their own. That not every student's life is exactly the same. There's students dealing with poverty and homelessness and not being able to have something to eat every day. And so there are many things that students need to recognize as happening, that not everybody's life is exactly like theirs. And then learn how to create their own media statements. So how can they portray their opinions in a respectful manner to get their point across. So different things that I use in the classroom that I have helped students create or make. Google Slides, docs, and drawings, etc. So these are really nice ones for students to use. They're very straightforward. They've used them a lot. And it's kind of a new and upcoming way that students can collaborate with each other without having to be with each other. Which really helps that if they are working on a project outside of school, they can all be shared on the same Google Doc or slide or whatever it happens to be, and they can still add in their own opinions on there and work. Flipgrid, so students, I will pose a question. It doesn't even have to be necessarily content related. I've used it on the first day of school, just make a video or a post about yourself, and students can create their own video. They can upload pictures, but then they will also be able to see every person's in the class as well. So it's kind of cool to be able to let them be creative in that way. Desmos it can be a calculator. It can also be a graphing calculator, but it also can create these presentations to have. I can create them and students can create them to create different activities for people to follow. So this is something I've used in my math classroom to have students kind of expand a certain topic to make it more complicated for them. And then Screencastify or Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm using right now, for students to be able to create their own videos on different topics that we're talking about in class. Some things that I use, communication as Schoology is used in the district that I'm currently in. It's a way that we can post updates. We have all of the information on the site, so all of the assignments or activities or notes or articles are there for students at access at any time. So they don't even have to be at school. They can use any device outside of school to log in to be able to see all those things and be able to communicate with parents in that way as well. Also with Google Drive, Docs, spreadsheets, calendar, etc. with my colleagues. I can talk about different things that we're planning for a week and be able to, again, just like students, be able to work on it when we're not necessarily together. And then when evaluating Excel spreadsheets in Infinite Campus, so in Infinite Campus is the grading technology at my school. And what is really nice about that is it will track student progress on, so it has highs and lows of when they've turned stuff in and the grades they've gotten. So you can kind of see the progress that students are making throughout the trimester and see, okay, so they didn't do so well in this unit, we need to go back and look at that. The spreadsheet's the same thing, doing my own different pre-assessment and post-assessments and kind of looking at things in between there and making graphs from there. Ethical legal issues. So different things at the district that we've done is weekly technology aspects in homeroom. So homeroom is a big one where we talk about kind of those underlying that those hidden things that we need to teach students, like being digital citizenships and kindness and all those different character traits that we want. So technology has become a piece that we do every week. And so we're making awareness of that. We do a week-long curriculum in homeroom about ethical issues like cyberbullying, etc., how to appropriately communicate with others through social media or different other types of technology. Also, teaching them about good sources and how to respond appropriately. So students might find a source that is completely not legitimate, and they just need to be able to tell when they are or not. Giving students examples in video of what is appropriate and how technology can be used if used the correct way. So creating different examples for students to be able to reflect on their own practice and to grow as they progress through school. A couple of aha moments that I have. One was the pear tree video, the 21st century education. Ineffective uses of technology are not helping our students become 21st century learners, such as online quizzes or using a source that could be used on paper just as easy. So using those online quizzes are really great for that immediate feedback, and I do use them every once in a while, but having that be the only thing that we do with technology is not benefiting our students. We need to come up with different ways that they can create their own thinking and be able to collaborate with others. And so seeing that in that video was such a great aha moment for me that I've had to learn throughout the years. We can use technology to broaden our students' minds. In the past, we only had access to what our parents taught us, but with technology, we can help students expand their worlds. That was in the Advantage of Technology in Education video. And I talked about this at the beginning, that we, in the past, were only given what our parents taught us, and we were really stuck with that opinion. But now with technology and media, there's so many different ways that we can help students see different opinions and help them form their own along the way. A couple of different takeaways. So the first one, it comes from the frameworks. It summed up a lot of the things that I thought was really great. The Partnership for 21st Century Learning recognizes that all learners need educational experiences in school and beyond, from cradle to career, to build knowledge and skills for success in a globally and digitally interconnected world. So I think it completely sums it up. From the time students are born till they are in their career, we need to give them the skills, not just content-based, but all the different skills on interpersonal collaboration, creativity, digitally sound, and being able to give them everything they need so that they can enter the world and feel successful. A second takeaway is, as an educator, I am limited to a point with what the school and district can provide, but there are many resources that are free and easy to use that can help students create media projects, learn how to be digital citizens, and learn the skills we all need to succeed in life. And this was in the pear tree, is that they talked about how schools and districts are using smart boards and things like that, but that is really teacher-centered, and we need to be able to have the funding to give students the technology and resources that they deserve to create 21st century learners. But when we're limited as teachers, we need to be able to be creative and use different resources that we've learned to help them become these 21st century learners by creating their own media and learning how to be digitally sound. And I really think that this was a great great resource, and thank you very much.